Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Woo family. It's so nice to know that you're logging in, and we look forward to another wonderful session. I hope I live up to your expectations, and let's go, Woo. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Veronica. How you doing this morning?
Great, Adam. Thanks for logging in.
You're welcome.
Peace and blessings, my sister, Veronica.
Greetings, Abisola. Greetings.
I'm a Veronica. How you doing? So glad
I'm
to.
Lisa. Good to
with
hear
you.
your voice.
Too. Peace and blessing, family. Love y'all.
Wake up, community. Come on in. Looking forward to hearing and seeing you as we pack our bags. Naomi Seeley, nice to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
It's wake up time. It's wake up time. Good morning, all. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rachel. Greetings, all. It's wake up time. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know why my mute keeps muting. Good morning.
John Carl, we don't hear sound.
And my mute keeps going on. Have you packed your bags, family? Have you packed your
I
to-go
apologize,
bag?
everyone. We're gonna start this, start the video again, and from the top. So here we go, everyone. Blessings. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good morning, all.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning, Woo family. Good morning, Facebook family. It's nice to hear and see you all this morning. And my topic for today is, have you packed your to-go bag? And so we look forward to gathering together this morning and enjoying a conversation about our to-go bags. And here we go. Slide one. Thank you. Okay, family. So we're going to look. My question that I'm putting out to the universe is: have you packed your to-go bag? And I'd like you to get a pen, paper, and be prepared to take some notes and just start to throw into the chat some of the things that you think should go into your to-go bag. And I'd like to hear some responses on the chat. Thank you. So let's go. Have you packed your to-go bag? And I see on the chat that Abimbola says she's ready to pack her bag. And Candace says, good morning, I've packed bags already. We have to travel. So she's saying, Candace is saying it's a traveling bag. Slide 2, please. And I'd like somebody to come on and tell me, Candace, maybe you could come on and tell me. Also, Rachel says there's water in her to-go bag. And that's quite interesting because everyone I've asked about it says, yes, the first thing I'm going to put in my to-go bag is water. Next slide, please.
Okay, I'll go there. But we can actually have someone come on. Well, let's go to the slide.
The next slide, we will elicit. Okay, so this, go back, please. So the second slide, this is not the second slide, this is the third slide, but I really want us to talk about the second slide for a moment.
I apologize for that.
No problem. Second slide, no problem. So Rachel said water. And is there anybody else that would like to come on? Vitamins, I like that. I like that, Abimbola, you said vitamins. And that peace of mind absolutely should be in the to-go bag. So we're looking at a visual here of water. We're seeing that to-go bag, and it does look, somebody tell me what that bag looks like? Does it look utilitarian? Does it look like vacation? Like, oh, I'm going on a vacation with this bag? Or what does it speak? What does this bag speak to? Can anybody come on?
Security.
Oh, who am I speaking to?
Candace. Good morning. Good morning, Sister Candace.
Candace, it's good to hear your voice. So you're saying that this bag feels like security. And what goes in, what is security, what security item would you put in your bag besides water?
My passport.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
My birth certificate.
Mm.
Just some important documents that I might need access to. Not in like emergency, like there's a fire, but
Right.
emergency as in I have to evacuate.
Okay, so you're going to put your passport in that bag. You might put some water in that bag. And you said you want that feeling of security. So you would put a birth certificate.
That's right. Those important documents that are difficult, if you lose them, difficult to retrieve. If you're crossing borders, if you ever have to cross borders, you might need to identify who you are. Also, there is, I think it's all Cipro. There's this one pill that you take for if you have to drink water or things that are not necessarily clean.
Absolutely.
So
Go ahead.
I think my husband has a couple of the Cipros in the little bag box that we have.
Okay. Okay, so you are thinking about, you, Sister Candace, are thinking about, oh, I'm going to take important documents and I'm going to take my birth certificate and I'm going to make sure that I always have clean water that's accessible for me to drink. And I love your answers. And is there anybody else that has another answer about what might go into the to-go bag? Thank you, Sister Candace.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I think,
Yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead, Sister Tisa.
I would take pictures of my family.
Oh,
Pictures of my family in there because I want to make sure that I'm always, looking at them, just in case, not just on my camera, because just save my camera. And I make sure I would take a extra like batteries and
okay.
what do you call it? Plugs and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
I like that.
Plugs. I would take plugs. And I
Okay.
also would take some extra clothes because you never know,
Okay, so I want you to be mindful.
Clothes.
I
Yeah.
want you to be mindful that this bag needs to be, you have to be able to carry this bag. Maybe you might want to carry it on your back. You might.
Well, I have a wheelchair, so I'll put my bag on my wheelchair.
Okay, so your bag is going to, you can carry extra things in your bag that normally the average person doesn't want to carry because your wheelchair is going to help you.
Yes. So I was always, I would carry an extra pair of clothes and like stuff like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's wonderful. So now somebody
and that's my
else says,
phone, right?
I see somebody on their iPhone that says directions to my destination. And so they're gonna put, that person, Marva, will you be putting a map in your to-go bag? So I'm not getting an answer. Is there anybody else who would like to come in? I see vitamins. Interesting. You're gonna put vitamins in your bag. Is there anybody else that can think of something else they're gonna put in that bag? So we have the passport, we have water, we have
Okay.
excuse me?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
What is a to-go bag?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Well, based on these answers that I have gotten, it seems like our community is thinking about going somewhere.
Marva, I'm sorry, Marva did take herself off of mute, so she's going to share
Yes,
her
go ahead.
answer.
Go ahead, Marva.
Oh, I see mentioned that I put in directions to my destination.
Yes, and we wanted to know
what I put you asked me when I put a map in there.
Yes.
Now I put my cell phone in there with the GPS.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So you know you're not putting your to-go bag includes your cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's a good piece. So now we have water, we have our passport, we have some clothing items, we have our cell phone, and somebody else says, thank you, Marva. And somebody else says non-perishables. What's a non-perishable, please? Rachel, can you come on and give me an idea what a non-perishable is?
Sure, something that's canned food, something you don't have to cook.
Okay, so you, Rachel.
I'm thinking survival.
So, so you're gonna put canned goods in your bag.
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to be mindful, Rachel, that as you take that bag and you put all these items in, it's going to get a little heavy. Okay, and so what do you think you could put in besides a can that might lighten it up but still nourishing?
Maybe, I don't even know. How about that?
Yeah. So I'm going to introduce why I'm going here now. So
Thank you for that.
I love it. I love it. I'm writing a book, and this topic is one chapter of my book. And we're going to be talking about a to-go bag. And I'd like the third slide, please. The next slide. And so this is just one aspect of what goes into your to-go bag. And if you have a notebook and pencil, we're going to start going over some important items that you can carry in your to-go bag. And it doesn't necessarily have to go in your to-go bag, but it is a to-go item. So if you look at this list, you'll see emergency contacts and family information, emergency funds, and emergency plan, your trust and will information, and medication. And we're not asking you, in my book, I'm not asking anybody to put all those documents into this to-go bag, but I'm asking you to be concerned about when you go where you go or end up where you go, that you have some way to get these information. And so many of us in our community, that's the last thought. And why I put so much water in the first slide, if we could go back to the first slide a second, and we will think about going back to our remembrance. So no, in the water, the second slide, when we think about one occurrence, could anybody think about an occurrence that has happened while we're alive? So we don't have to go back 50, 60, 70 years. We could talk about in the last 10, 20, 30 years. What has happened involving water?
Sandy.
Sandy. And what else?
Hurricane Ida.
Hurricane Ida. And so we know that Sandy, Hurricane Ida and Sandy, but Sandy affected New Yorkers and it affected people in the South. And what happened? Because yes, we need to have water, but what does water also do?
Destroy.
It absolutely destroys. And many times we are just going along and we have art, we have quilts on our walls, we have all these things, but when we need to leave our homes in a hurry, all we take with us is a to-go bag. That's all we have is this to-go bag. So I'm going to ask to go forward 2 slides, and we're going to start looking at some of the items that you can next. That's perfect. So when we think about emergency contacts, folks, if you're living in a household with more than one person, you should have family information, a family sheet, which tells the birth date, all the information of each family member and yourself, your marriage certificate, your birth certificate, your social security number, medical issues, your driver's license and passport. Thank you, Candace. Print and photograph each of those items. Print and scan each item. Mail each item to yourself, email them for each member of your family and immediate family. So I'm going to give you a tip here. On your cell phone, you can download an app, a scan app. And when you download that scan app, you no longer have to think that I have to find a copy machine to copy this information. You can scan all the documents into your phone and then email the documents to yourself. And you will have all the information that you need to take with you on your go bag. Now, in addition to emailing those scanned documents to your email, you also can print out those scanned documents and put them in a folder and put it in your to-go bag. So you know that you have a copy of these documents in your to-go bag. And trust me, there are times when you're not at home and you need an important document and all you have to do is go to your email and it's right there. And so, and if you had to run out of your house and there's no electricity and there's no source of getting into a computer and you don't have a cell phone or your cell phone is dead, you have also scanned and printed the documents. And so this, I know I have these documents in my to-go bag. Can we go to the second slide, please? Because we're going to, oh no, let's stop a second. How do you feel about hearing this? Is there anybody that can come in and talk about emergency contacts and family and how you feel about taking all this information and keeping it?
I would like to say something.
Surely.
Thank you. I think that's an excellent idea. Because the only thing I did that with is my passport, especially when you travel. And so that's what I have, a copy of my passport.
Right.
But I never thought about those other things. And I think that's an excellent idea. And even in terms of recording, your credit card information and stuff like that. So thank you. I'm going to do that immediately. So, because we don't think ahead.
That's right.
And we act and then, it happens. So I know when we have a warning and they tell you to find a safe place if there's a hurricane and stuff like that. And we think about stuff like that and putting water in a certain place where you're going to go in an emergency. But this is an excellent idea. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, Sister Evans. Does anybody else have anything to say before I proceed?
Yes, great morning and grand rising to all. My name is Andrea Fisher. what I would like to say, I'm actually in the process of doing that. That's something I learned years ago. But the tip that you just gave, that what an additional tip is that scan app.
Yes.
Because that you're so on point with that, because if you're remotely somewhere and you can't get access to your documents, that's crucial.
Absolutely.
You know, but to go back, I've been I have one and I took out some stuff and I'm like doing it over because it's good to even refresh it and keep updated information ever so often because it's very crucial. And one of my things when I was away at I don't know if you know Gary Null.
Yes, yes.
I went to one of his retreat, and that to go back and when you're in a crisis, how important it is. When I went on that retreat, that really slapped me in the face because this guy, he preaches that, but he's actually prepared for that. If there's any storm that happened now, he can survive for the next 9 months without having to buy a piece of food in the
And
supermarket.
that's absolutely
Amazing.
right. Yes, Sister Andrea. And in my book that I'm writing, I'm speaking to the survival of people of African diaspora. And that for the most part, when tragedy happens, when the Sandy happens, the people that get the first responders they don't look like us. And so we have to create a community that responds to one another and that is prepared for survival. And that is entirely, entirely true. Gary Null is prepared to survive. And the question is, are people of color in America prepared to survive if the Ukraine happens to them?
Exactly.
So thank you, Sister Andrea. Marva and Teresa have their hands up. We'll take Teresa and then Marva. Yes, Sister Teresa.
Hey, sweetie. This is a great conversation. One of the things that happened with a lot of people out here with Sandy is that they, the emergency people could not get to people. So, they had to do without stuff until they could get because there was so much destruction out here. And then two, people didn't leave. So that's the other thing too, is that I think that people need to know is that if it's something like that, it's like, they choose to stay in their home, and by them staying in their home, they got, really messed up. Some people passed, whatever, but it was like, I just feel like it's safe when something like that happens to get out of your home. But one of the things that I remember a guy named Colbert to come in, he was saying like carry like little stuff, like little these bleach, like I got bleach tablets, like get bleach tablets and get like plastic bags. And he was saying how to put your money like in like a little can, a tin can, something that it can't get wet. Like he showed you like how to put like a whole package together of little stuff in bags and safety bags and put it inside the bag. Like he showed you like one bag, and he said that like I said to him, well, what if I can't get out? He said, well, bunk in, just be prepared to bunk in. And so like he gave us a whole complete bag of stuff.
Now that's a chapter in my book that's coming out, is what types of food should you store in your house? How much water should you have? And so we either have to prepare to stay put or to move out. And if we're prepared to move out, we have to have all the necessary items in our to-go bag, or we should have left already.
And you know what else they said too? Because I did emergency preparedness training one time, is that to have like a place where you and your family can meet at, like if I can't get to you, then we all have an ideal place, but everybody needs to know the emergency preparedness plan.
That's where I'm going to next, sister. So next hand is Marva, and then we're going to Rachel before we move forward. Yes, Sister Marva, who is literally my sister.
I was wonderful presentation, Veronica, and absolute wonderful idea. I was going to say that, as much as we complain about the phone, our cell phones and each other being on our phones, how important this one little item is. First of all, the things that we're already talking about are already in our phones.
That's right.
Contacts, All of those, so many of those things are already there. So one of the things we want to do maybe is start to look through our phones and clean out our phones, move things that are taking up space that we don't need. Also, every email we send is in the iCloud. And it's amazing once you get to figure out the iCloud, you can find just about every communication you've ever made in there. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Something else I was going to say, I know for me, my children are all over the country right now. So it's also important to make, in terms of your destination, where you're going, have these conversations with your family, so that you have not only an individual plan, but a whole family plan.
And that's the first part of our discussion was have your family's information. Each person in your family, you should know all the vitals about that person, and it should be in a book. And I'm going to actually share some more things with you, so you'll be able to fill in the papers, scan them into your document. So I will share that.
One last thing I'd like to add. Most of us, probably many of us, don't have our neighbors' information. So we should actually know more about our neighbors, how to contact neighbors in case of something, because that's your way back. If you're going back, at least know what your community is doing at large.
Right. Thank you very much, Marva.
You're welcome.
The next person is Rachel. You have your hand up, and then Andrea one more time before we move forward.
Yes, I just wanted to say, the fact that you brought up to-go bag that is like non-destructible is huge, because I have folders with my important documents. And I would probably throw it in a regular bag and that would be destroyed. So to have that prepared where it's non-destructible, waterproof is like a huge, something that just clicked, which I'm like, I appreciate that, because what's a to-go bag if it could get destroyed?
By the end of this session, I'm going to share some items with you that you could possibly get on Amazon, or maybe just go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get. So I have them here. So I'm going to show you them and explain how they will help you. So Andrea, after Andrea, we're going on to the next slide. Go ahead, Andrea.
Thank you, sister, for accommodating me again.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to piggyback off of what Miss Teresa Scott said. I wanted to come in, but I saw some hands up, so I wanted to be courteous to those folks as well.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
One of the things that I observed during Sandy and every like disaster or whatever I call it challenges, natural challenges that we go through in life. We don't always know, and the sister before me just talked about your neighbors, but our elders did I work out in the field, in the health field.
Yes.
And in the Jewish community, I'll tell you, they got it put together. We need to hone in on that. They know where the elders are, and they know the homes that they need priority to go
what
to.
What I want to stress to you is that we are dealing with one aspect of emergency planning.
Okay.
And this particular aspect is how you prepare yourself in the event of an emergency.
Okay.
Yes, if we want to include our community, we're going to share that they need to have this piece of the puzzle. But the puzzle is large.
Right.
And we want to focus on just just preparing this bag.
Okay, great.
Right now. And maybe we'll have another session where there are a lot, there's what foods to have, what clothes to wear. But no, right now we're staying put on
the bag.
Emergency bag. What goes into the emergency bag? And we're going to move forward and go to the next slide after friends and after family, doing the family piece. Yes. So medications. This, I think we skipped one, but this is fine. So when we think about our medicine, and I put this in here because a lot of times we as a people, we run out of medicine and then we say, oh, I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow. And tomorrow sometimes never comes. So it would be wise to have an extra set of your regular medicines in your to-go bag. Because when you run out of that house, when Sandy happened and Katrina happened, all you could do is pick up that to-go bag. You couldn't look around for your basic medications. And we in our community have high incidence of high blood pressure, diabetes, all number of things. And so what happens when the stores are closed, the internet is not working? We need to know that we have a backup, and that backup comes in this to-go bag. And so we have to become mindful of what we put in the bag that is most essential. And so far, I've gone over the medication piece, the information piece, and we're going to one other thing. Can we go to the next slide? How many in our community, I'd like you to put it into the chat, have a will and a trust, a medical advance directive? Please go into the chat and tell us yes or no.
While we are,
Yes. Yes.
Sister Veronica, while we're waiting for, and let me take the slide down right now.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
While we're, I'm clicking advance, and while we're waiting for that, we have
Yeah.
some comments from Facebook.
Yes.
Rosalind.
Yes.
Rosalind in Facebook, Rosalind Ganaway Jones
Mhm.
said it's empowering because you're preparing in case of an emergency, and
Yes.
you are prepared.
Yes. Yes.
Jennifer said, thank you and a great morning. That came from the Zoom, in the Zoom space.
Mhm.
And Abinbola
Yes.
says, I have a document titled Everything You Need to Know for My Daughter. Everything you need to know for my daughter that
Yes.
I will scan. So she is being active and will scan that information.
Yes. So how many in the chat space say they have a will, an advanced medical directive? Is anything coming up for someone who says they have all of that?
Yes, Abimbola also said yes, and I believe that was to your question.
And Sister
Candice said yes, she has a will. Yes, it will. Kyra says this is so necessary. I don't think I have a will, but a healthy proxy.
Healthcare proxy.
A healthy proxy, yes. And Marva said no, she does not. Z said a will, I need updated and get the rest.
Okay.
Andrea shares that she is in the process of doing that. And Mama Tisa says a healthcare proxy also.
Right. And so can someone come on and explain what their healthcare proxy is about? You don't have to be specific, but tell us why you have a healthcare proxy.
I like to call Kyra because we haven't heard from her yet. So Kyra, can you come on with us and share your health proxy with us, please?
Absolutely. Of course, I can't give you much information. Good morning, everyone.
Yes.
First off, I got a healthcare proxy. Oh, this is so long ago. It has to be like maybe 10 years ago. And I'm going to tell you why. I was in a group called BNI. Some people are probably familiar with it, but you know, it's different professions that come and meet once a week for breakfast or whatever and try and give each other clients. And so there was a lawyer who was there. And so I really liked him and I just liked what he was saying. And so I got one done. But because it was done so long ago, I need to actually look at it because I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's still relevant. Nothing's really changed. Yeah, nothing's really changed, but I'm so glad. That's what I'm saying. This is so necessary because I don't even I'm like, oh yeah, I have one, but it's not like I'm sure it needs to be updated and like a will needs to be placed or whatever. So, but the healthcare proxy was just, who's in charge of anything that needs to be done for me. If anything should go wrong, I mean, I have my parents, I have my brother, and I want to say, I think it's like my mother, then my father, and then my brother, just depending on when anything takes place. And maybe some information about my niece and nephew, but I really, honestly, I need to look at it again. So this is really great information.
So with your healthcare proxy, if you are incapacitated and
Mm-hmm.
you're in the hospital and you can't make decisions for yourself, you are designating someone that will make medical decisions for you.
Yep.
And that is what is so necessary for us. We have to. If you work for New York City Department of Education or a lot of the city agencies, they actually will do your healthcare proxy, and your power of attorney for you for free. And there are the Susie Orman package where you could go on her site and get all of that downloaded and have it notarized and do it yourself. Or if you have the means, you can go to a lawyer and have the healthcare proxy drawn up. But it's necessary, because if something happens to you and the family is standing around saying, well, we don't know what to do, well, you've designated somebody who will jump into action. And it's very, very necessary. Yes, Sister Mama T.
I want to talk about when my mother was put on life support, and because my mother was put on life support, and because the health proxy had such a mix up, we was literally fighting with the doctors and my other family members to say my mother said she wanted, and so our family was actually overriding my mother's will, and so I actually the only way I got the doctor changed, I was so mad that I just started screaming to the top of my lungs in the hospital. So the nurse came, Miss Scott, why are you screaming? I said, because my mother said she did not want to be put on. And the medicine they was giving my mother was the medicine they gave Michael Jackson. And they was giving her so much. So when they gave her that medicine, I just bugged out. I was like, I can't have a Michael Jackson, my mother, even though my mother passed, later on, but it's just a fact of that, how important that health proxy. The other thing I want to say about the medication is that if you can get 3 months, ask your doctor to do, if you have the meals and wings, the means in a way, ask your doctor for a 90-month supply of medicine, because I noticed after Sandy that they started doing 90-month supplies of medication. That made a big difference. So if you did have emergency, you would have a 90-month supply.
You had a 90-day supply, 3 months.
Right, 3 months, a 3-month supply of medication. So that's the other thing, because and then also know the actual pharmacy. Like if you're my pharmacy, I had gotten my prescription filled already before Sandy happened, right? And my insurance actually gave me medicine, because the one thing, I had the bag when I was leaving out my apartment, and I was rushing because they was telling they were going to shut down Far Rockaway, and I left my medicine bag on the bed, and my pharmacy actually fulfilled all my prescriptions, even though I had just. So that's even important to know, the actual pharmacy, will they refill your medication if you can't get to it? Is that available? So I just want to share that.
Thank you, sister. And I see there's somebody on Facebook that says, can you read that, please? Because I can't see it. Stacy?
Yes, Stacy says, this is a conversation I had with my mama recently, and we are going to have a family meeting about it. She also says, Susie Orman, that sounds like a great service that that they have all set up, and probably let you tweak it if need be. I'll look into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is there anybody else that wants to speak before we go forward? Okay, so we can go to the next slide. So I've covered the emergency family emergency funds. So now, guys, we're at this point where we have to talk money. And I just want, before we start to go over what is on the slide, has anyone noticed that you go to restaurants now and they only want cash? Or am I the only one that sees this?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's true.
Right.
Some of them only want cash.
They only want cash. And so a lot of us over the last few years have given up our cash. We've become almost cashless, a cashless society. But what happens is when the internet goes down or electricity is stopped for some reason, maybe it's another Sandy occurrence, you cannot use your ATM cards or credit cards. And so as a consequence, you are strapped and you have no way to say, to even go and buy milk and bread because they're not taking your card. And so this piece, emergency funds and equipment, is pivotal to our to-go bag. And as I put here, you should have at least $1,000 in small bills as an emergency fund. If a major disaster takes place, you will most likely not be able to use the credit card or the ATMs. And you will not be able to purchase basic needs. And so this piece, I would suggest that you start, I have a pile of $5 bills that my son, whenever he had a $5 bill, he put it in an envelope and then he handed me the envelope. And $1 bills. And just every week say, I'm gonna put $5 of $5, a $5 bill, $5 single dollars, a $10 bill, and put it in my envelope instead of maybe saving a $100 bill, because you're not going to be able to get cash change for a $100 bill. And if there's a dire emergency, there are going to be people that are going to prey on those people that pull out $100 bills. And so we want to be very, very, very mindful of the need to have cash in hand. And so that's what if anybody else agrees or disagrees, please let me know. This is a conversation that we're having. And does anybody have anything to say about this particular slide and how you feel about having emergency funds in your to-go bag? Rachel says she agrees. Is there anybody else?
I would say it's very, very necessary.
Yes.
When we had the flood of 1992 in Far Rockaway.
Yes.
And the banks were, well, I really didn't believe too much in the card business, but I went to the bank and I can't tell you, sister, how many times I had to sign my name over for them to verify that it was me, because on the initial, because I had that account so long, that my signature was when I was much younger. So as I developed, it's like, and I had to sign my name, and one manager came over and she said, I know her. She's been banking in the system for years. That's how I got some money.
Well, what happens if the banks are closed?
That's the other thing. So you always have to have emergency funds.
You always must. Anna, what is Anna saying to everyone? Anna, do you mind coming on the screen? Anna? Rachel, you have your hand up. Yes, Rachel.
On mute. Okay. I often think about, like, if the internet is down, right? What then? You can't use your bank card. You can't get into the bank. You can't do anything. But I think what was so important with what you said was small bills.
Yes.
Because that does alarm somebody. If you're, big bills, you're potentially going to get robbed, right? Because everybody's going to be possibly in survival mode. So small bills, I think, is a great idea and a suggestion that I'm going to hold close.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I am now going to move on to some devices and some books that we want to elicit. I want to elicit discussion on.
Veronica?
Yes, yes.
Before you move on, let's see, I think there's some more posts in the chat.
Okay,
Uh,
go ahead. Mhm.
Yes, there's some more posts in the chat. And I can see that Kyra, let's go back to who agree with you. Z agreed
Yes.
with you as well. Candice said wonderful idea.
Mhm.
And Mama Tisa said yes. And she used some Z's there. I can't pronounce the yes with Z's, but that's yes. With a bit of excitement there. And I think that this is such great information to prepare our community this morning. We have a share from Facebook. The chat just jumped. This came from Vidya Johnson Sandiford.
Yes.
It's like going to another country. And you want to have your small bills. I think she responded to that that part of your question, your statement. And then Abimbola also said, I agree, but folks live from check to check. So this will be a real challenge for some folks.
Absolutely.
And I have to agree with that. I think that's really good for our communities, and the challenges that we do have is a great thing to mention. I think I saw earlier too, it may have been Candice who mentioned when we were talking about the stuff we put in our bag, she was thinking about security with some of the personal items being in your bag.
Yes.
Z, and Z shares here, that's probably the only time fiat money will have real value.
That's right. And we're coming back to that. The money system, I'm seeing more and more people using paper money these days, and restaurants saying, well, we don't take cards or cash. And there are a lot of reasons for that, because our economy, everything has been documented. And so the average restaurant has to report every penny that they make. And so as a consequence, they might say, listen, there's some days that we're only going to take cash because we can't survive without it.
Yeah, I want to mention another comment that came from Z earlier too, and this is where we were talking about a healthcare proxy, and she mentioned Legal Shield, and they update annually as a resource for the healthcare proxy. At this time too, and I love to hear Z's voice. Z, can we have the pleasure of having you share verbally your what comes up for you and some of the information you want to share with us in regards to this topic?
Okay, I had to find it. I'm on my phone. I'm usually not on my phone. So can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, my voice is also, I'm noticing kind of not, I still have that morning voice thing, so I really hope you can hear me. So in terms of will, healthcare proxy, and all of that, Legal Shield provides that as a service, as a part of the service, and it's updatable annually. So any changes you can make them once a year. You can make changes to your documentation as well, which is valuable, because otherwise you have to pay and do a whole new one somewhere else. Good example of how valuable that is. A friend of mine, still processing. She's not here anymore. Contacted me about a year and a half ago and said, "You still doing the Legal Shield thing?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "I need to get it. I should have gotten it a long time ago, but I need to get it because I don't have anything, and I need to set everything up." And she was self-prophesying. She transitioned last October.
So Z, what is the cost of Legal Shield?
It's a membership. There's a lot of other things, that it has. It's $25 a month, or you can pay for it annually or biannually, but the monthly is $25.
Okay, and so they will prepare a will for you, a legal power of attorney, And you'll have all those documents?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one option. And the other, and so that's another thing that we added is Legal Shield, the Susie Orman box, going online and getting it yourself or getting yourself a lawyer. So we have options at every price point.
Yes.
To have these documents in hand, and it's so very, very important to have them. Okay. All right, so I'm going to show you some books. And I think that I can make some of it available. I think this is in reverse. It says this is an essential document, grab and go organizer. And there are lots of books like this online that you can get, that you can fill in your home and auto information, your child emergency information. They're just rote documents, but it'll give you some, if you're not, if you can't do it yourself and you're the type of person that needs to have paper and pencil and you can't put it online, you can follow a book like this, and it's costs like maybe $7 on Amazon. And it's an excellent document that gives you an order of things. Okay. And then there's this book. And this is one of the books that made me want to write a book for people of color. And we as African Americans, very few of us are thinking about survival. Because we're trying to survive from day to day. And we need to think about how the survival of the race is important. And so this book is called The Long Emergency. And it's by James Howard Kunstler. And what he says in this book, where as you read it, you'll see that he is talking about a time when there's a long emergency. That means that our grid, which is over 70 years old, our electrical grid in America, is going to start to falter if it's not repaired. Our bridges are going to start to fall down, and we've seen it in our lifetime. Stores like Amazon and Walmart might cease to exist because they depend on everything that comes into this country comes from overseas, even the foods that we eat. And so this to-go bag is just one small aspect of preparing ourselves for a future where there is a breakdown. Yes, the breakdowns get fixed, but what happens in the meantime, in between the breakdown and fixing the breakdown? And we as African people of the diaspora have to prepare for the in-between time. It is so very, very, very important that we begin to restructure our lives and do what's necessary for in the meantime. Yes, we have insurance and insurance policies, and we might get reimbursed for the loss of a house and water damage and all these other things, but we have to prepare for in the meantime. And so this last section that I'm talking about is some of the things that you need to have, that we need to have. And one thing that I've done as far as scanning and photographing is photographing the art in my house. Photographing it, documenting it, putting the value of it, and sending it to my email. Because what happens to us, we buy a lot of expensive things. We live a very wonderful life, and it's not documented. And so if there is a Sandy occurrence again, which there possibly might be, and if there is a Ukraine occurrence in America, which there possibly might be, we need to know that our lives are documented, and that, like every other group, they know how to get back what they've lost. And we tend not to, because the signs tell us that we're not doing all the things that we could possibly do to move into the future. And so I just put a few things on. Now, this particular device is less than $15 on Amazon. And it's a solar charger. And which means that I can put it in the sun and the sun will recharge it and I can recharge my phone. And we all own a phone. So the one thing that we're going to do is that we're going to put the scan device on our phone app, scan app on our phone. We're going to learn that we're going into a time where the sun's energy is our power. And I'll put my crystal in my bag. I'll put my crystal in my bag. I'll put my shea butter in my bag. I'll put my oils in my bag. I'll put my water in my bag. I'll put some warm socks in my bag. I'll put my money in my bag. I might put copies of my documents in my bag. Now, I'll tell you this about this particular bag. This bag is waterproof and fireproof.
Awesome.
Waterproof and fireproof. So this is waterproof. This has my cash. This has the documents that I know. I put them into the cloud, but I have a copy of them here. And I have the originals in a safe. And I have my waterproof, fireproof to-go bag, which I can put all those essentials. But we are now in the 21st century, and we need to put some things in the clouds so that we could retrieve them effortlessly. And that means that we have to change the way we think and the way that we move forward into the world. And I don't know what else to say, John.
Yeah, that's fine. I got you, Veronica.
Where I am. This is where I am. And one other book, which I recommend you guys read, is called From the Soil to the Stomach. And we need to start growing something. We need to start growing our foods. And yes, that has nothing to do with the bag, but it has to do with our survival as a race of people. Yes.
Awesome.
Does anybody have anything to say? Oh, I have hands up, so you can.
Oh, one second, Sister Veronica. I can.
Yes. Yes.
There's a very important aspect of our session this morning I'd like to mention. We are now at 8 o'clock, and I would like to thank the community members who have spent the first hour with us, who may have to leave and go on with their day. I want to let them know that your contact information is in the chat, and they can always come back, go to Facebook. Go to Facebook and watch the other half an hour of the session. And they can also leave comments and questions. You've given us so much to think about. We have hand raised, and you touched on some of the things that were also mentioned in the chat as far as fireproof and waterproof. I will come back and read those. If you want to go to the hands raised, or if you want to go to the chat, you can.
You can go to the chat and read the chat, and then we'll go to the hands raised. Hand. Yes.
Awesome. We have been getting a lot of shares from our sister Stacy, Miss Yogisha on Facebook. I asked for her to. I asked Kenyofu to invite her to the Zoom room. She's sitting on the porch. She didn't come inside, so we can share this wonderful information personally. Miss Yogisha, Stacy. Stacy says,
yes,
you need an emergency fund at the bank as well. I would say that that is important to have cash in a fireproof safe. You mentioned your fireproof bag, so that's wonderful. She said, with important documents, also leaving copies in another safe
Yes.
other than your home. Another safe place, I guess, other than your home. Stacy give us a second comment here where she mentioned also heard a long time ago before that you can put important docs in a Ziploc bag in the fridge.
Absolutely.
In the fridge, put it in the fridge since it's fireproof. Another little kind of precaution. And I love the shares coming from our community because I think the members here can add and add and add to this, and it brings value. It adds value to all of us.
Yes.
Another comment in the chat is from Abimbola. And she says, my document is called an advanced directive. Advanced directive. Mama Tisa, she has a hand raised. I will reserve her to, it's a comment in regards to Z. Anna says, don't forget the importance of DNR directive.
Do not resuscitate.
Yes, do not resuscitate.
Yes.
Can Stacy come to the Zoom room?
Come on in, Stacy.
She's sharing a lot here in the chat.
Yes.
The value of the dollar is going to decrease as well. So emergency fund in every form is crucial. Cash, bank account, crypto, stock, all of it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Bitcoin. Yes, yes.
Stacy's also said another comment here, thanking you for the conversation.
Paul, before you continue, I just realized we didn't say thank you to the folks who came to Zoom today and need to leave. So it is 8:04. So just wanted to acknowledge that. I did drop the contact information in both chats.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes. I see someone asked about the name of this bag, and it's a ZATAYE. Zatay bag, and I got it on Amazon, but there are a lot of other companies that sell it. And it's a Velcro and it's a zip. And it's really airtight, and the water just flows right off of it. And all three pieces are the same way. Yeah. I saw that question in the chat. And there's lots of devices. There's a lot of things that we could start putting together very inexpensively to prepare for in the event. I'm not saying it's going to happen in our lifetime, but we've seen so much. I think about the people in the Ukraine that one day they were sitting outside of having coffee and tea and wine, and the next day they were evacuating. And they couldn't take anything with them but what they had in their hands. Yeah. So we can go to the hands that are raised. Ann Palmer.
Yes. Come in, Mama Tisa. Can you?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm sorry.
By me doing this, Mama Veronica, is making remember of the stuff that I taught at class. And when I taught the class, one of the things that they said that you need to know like where you're like where to go if you have an emergency, because that's what happened in Far Rock, where people did not know where to go. So people were stuck, and they said that they was going to send buses and stuff with us, but the buses was not prepared for a person who has a disability. So I'm mainly talking to a person who has a disability, who might have a problem getting out, who don't have a car. You need to be able to know where to go and who to call, because what happened is that when the bus came for people, the bus was not wheelchair accessible. So people end up getting stuck and not being able to go. And so they were not prepared to be in their house. Another thing that they said too was that it was supposed to be a place called I think Aqueduct was there during that time. It was supposed to be Aqueduct, but how were people supposed to get to Aqueduct? And and then it was like there was a lot of service that they did not tell you. So know all these things, like call your legislators and find out like what's available for me if there's an emergency and I can't get out, or if I need help. Like get those numbers, get those people, so this way you'll know the plan. Because if you don't know the plan, and if you live in an apartment building, like connect with your neighbor, say, hey, this is what we're gonna do if this happens. But the other thing I want to say is that if you have to bunk in, they will send for you to get like little bleach, like the little tab. Like I don't even buy regular bleach anymore. I buy bleach tablets, get bleach tablets, get like paper garbage bags. So if you gotta use the bathroom, you can go to the bathroom in the garbage bags. Like,
well, in my book, which will be coming out in the summer,
yes,
there is a room. I can help you prepare a room where you will learn how to make a toilet.
Oh, that's good, Veronica.
And you'll
Thank
make
you.
the room airtight. And so, no, you don't need a paper garbage bag. You need to
Black plastic garbage.
I will tell you how to do it. Yes, we might have to be stuck in a space, but what we have to also be mindful of is that we're the last group that will get the emergency services. We will be the last group, and we've seen it over and over and over again. And so that means that us being knowledgeable and being prepared is going to move us forward as a group. And, you know, as I'm doing my research, and I'm looking at our ancestors, that they weren't slaves. When they came out of slavery, they had a plan, because they couldn't have made it north 300 miles, walk 300 miles without a plan. So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we cannot depend on anybody but ourselves. And Anna, you're next.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. I just wanted to mention, I saw on TV, they have a new service called Will and Trust, where you can make up your own documents for your ending time online.
Right.
So that's something new that's come out. Also, I think we should add to the go bag feminine protection and toiletries that sometimes we might not think of, even though I'm not in that stage of life, but for other menstruating sisters. Also, that there is flood insurance that we might not think about, and rental insurance, because we just think it's an added expense, but especially living in a flood zone, we do need to think about it.
That's right. And Anna, I stress you're taking pictures of every item you purchase in your house. Some of us have 3 smart TVs. And if you don't take a picture of each TV and put the number on them and send it to yourself, you have no record of all the items that you've purchased. So yes, you can have flood insurance. You can have fire insurance. You can have all the insurances, but if you can't prove that you had XYZ in your house, it's for naught. And that's where this to-go bag is necessary, because what are we doing? We're photographing, we're documenting. We have the technology today that we don't have to take a disposable camera to take pictures of items that we bring into our homes. This is what I'm trying to stress to us, that there is not a single person that does not own a cell phone.
Right.
And
also for mothers, don't forget having extra supply of diapers or Pampers for the little ones. Thank you. I'm complete.
So you see that your to-go bag is going to change. It's going to change based on your needs, but nevertheless, you're going to have a to-go bag. You might not have what I have in my bag, and I might not have what you have in your bag, but nevertheless, it's about preparation. It's just being prepared in some form or fashion. I see 2 hands up. Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
Adam has had his hand up for a while. You can go ahead, Adam.
Okay. Good morning, Will Nation. Good morning, Veronica. The one thing that no one has brought up in this discussion when it comes to the emergency is having self-defense weapons. And the reason I said it, is because we're also living in the sick generation as well, where people can come up and attack you, especially during a catastrophe.
Right.
So I think it's imperative that everyone should have some kind of weapon, whether it be a pepper spray or a taser or even a gun for that matter. And I'll
Possible.
conclude.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
contribution. Yes. Is there anybody else that would like to add to the discussion?
Yes, we have Marva with her hand raised.
Yes. And then I see some posts. Yeah. Guess Marva.
Can you
Come
hear
off
me?
mute, Marva.
Yes. Yes.
Just to piggyback on what Veronica said about we are going to be the last to be serviced by the municipal services. And we know, we've seen it. The most poignant vision I have is of New Orleans, Katrina, and how no one came to them but their neighbors, and how important it is to know your neighbors and to have some kind of contact. And if it means if you've never spoke to people before, you need to come out, just say hi in the morning. You need to, you need to have that kind of connection with the people close to you. And it's very important because we're not going to be like mentioning on the bus, and the bus is taking folks to shelters and places. We should have exchange agreements with friends of ours all over the country. You know, I'm here in Atlanta. If anything kind of happens, you can come here. And in exchange, I could go to a friend in Connecticut, if you know. So we need to have those connections with one another so that we can make it, we can have a destination. A shelter is not where you want to go. Anything controlled by the government is not where you want to go. So we have to form those connections. That's it.
Thank you so much. I see, John, can you read the two posts that came up? I can't see. Oh, Jean Brown says she just purchased flood insurance for her home last year. The annual cost is $404, and I will definitely take pictures of all my items in my home. Wonderful, Jean, wonderful. Because the insurance is worthless if you don't account for what you have lost. Yeah. Is there someone else?
Well, there's some cheers in the chat. There's always cheers in the chat.
Yes, yes. Thank
So,
you. Thank you all.
Teresa on Facebook,
Yes.
Teresa Placid,
Yes.
Plaskett shared something that I thought was very interesting. She said, good morning. How many bags do you need? If your bag is at home, for whatever reason, you can't retrieve it.
Right.
Or do you carry it with you everywhere you go? Thank you, sister.
Oh, that's why I speak of the cloud. Yes, I see that Z says she really doesn't trust the cloud a little bit. She's not a fan of the cloud, but all of those documents, I was traveling with my daughter. We were upstate at, we were just upstate. And my granddaughter got accepted into school, and they needed her birth certificate and her immunization immediately. And I looked at my daughter, and she went on her phone and she opened up the email and she sent the birth certificate and the immunization card copy straight to the school. And that's an example of us traveling out, but still having access to important documents. And yes, there are other things that we should have with us. We should have water. We should have our vitamins. We should have medicine. We could have this portable charger. Yes, those are things that you can have in your car and take with you. And so, yes, there is an option of traveling with some of these items that you think that you would need to go with. And there are some states in the Midwest, out west, where you can't get in your car in Arizona unless you have water in your car, because sometimes the temperature exceeds 115 degrees. So there are common sense things that we all need to start thinking of so that we're not stranded in any situation. So in response to that, yes. Yeah. Thank you, John. Is there anyone else that would like to add to our discussion?
Well, we can always we can wait for someone to raise their hand,
Uh-huh.
but you have a lot of content in the chat.
Yes.
I like to call on
Mhm.
admin Kenyofu to
Yeah.
share some of the other stuff that came in from Facebook. I think there's other shares there.
Yes, I'm not quite sure where you left off, but I did hear you mention Veronica about Jeannie Brown.
Yes.
So I don't think you read it through. Fire insurance. Did you read that one?
Yes,
She
I
says,
did read that one.
okay, so then she follows up with she purchased flood insurance for her home last year. The annual cost of $414. She'll definitely take pictures of all items in her home.
Right.
And she just added, I didn't get to put this into the Zoom chat. She says, I saved several photos on my cell phone of my birth certificate, passport, and driver's license.
Right, right. And you can actually, instead of taking a picture, scan it and you get a very vivid image of the document instead of just taking a picture. So that scan device is called Genius Scan. The one that I have on my iPhone is Genius Scan app, and it's free. I downloaded it and I scan it. And if you scan a number of documents together, like you take all the pile of birth certificates, they all go in as one scan. So you scan one at a time, and then it'll be a count. If it's 7 documents, it'll be 7 documents that you put in on that date, and then you list what it is. It's very, very handy.
Okay. Stacy also says, I thought this was read.
Yes.
This reminds me of when I lived in LA, and they are used to earthquakes. So they have emergency bags, kits on deck with batteries, radios, and essentials.
Exactly.
She adds that Brother Kobla spoke about this on Woo about a year ago. I think it was more than a year ago. But yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Teresa asked, did this question come up? Good morning. She says, how many bags do you need? If your bag is at home and for whatever reason you can't retrieve it, or do you carry it with you everywhere you go?
And that was the response that I put, that if putting things in the cloud and then putting basic necessities, you know, your toothbrush, you can have 2 toothbrushes, because you have your to-go bag here and a to-go bag in your car. Well, you figure it out. You eventually figure out how you want to pack your and what you want to put into your to-go bag. And whether you feel a need to carry it with you all the time. Okay, because we are living in a world where we don't know when something is going to happen. So I agree with her that sometimes you need to carry those items with you, certain items. But once you have your cell phone and your internet and you have an email address, it's all there, the documents. And then the other things you put in your to-go bag. And when she said how many bags, I thought of Erykah Badu. You can carry a whole lot of bags with a whole lot of nothing, or you can carry one bag with a whole lot of something. And so it depends on how it evolves, how your bag evolves after you start to be intentional about preparing one. Yes. And I'd like to thank you all for participating. I have 2 gifts. Can I start that now, John?
Yeah, it's a hand.
Veronica, I need a number under 17.
Under 17. Okay, I'll give you 15.
Thank you.
While Kenyofu was checking on numbers, we do have Mama Tisa with a hand raised. She wants to share again.
Yeah.
But the chat is just going and going. I see a lot of thank yous for the information you're sharing. Let's see, another comment we have that I thought was great here, because I agree with this. So I'm going to read Anna's comment, who said, we may need to go back to the barter system. Money is losing its value, but our skills and talents never lose their value.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So true. That's the thing that I want to say to y'all is what Anna was reading my mind is that one of the things that we taught in the class was that like know who's among you, like if something happens, like know like who can come help and who has the skills that can help you during that time, because like especially with that neighbor thing, it's like the one thing that happened with us out here is that a lot of people got left and didn't, like some people, like people lived in apartments, stuff like that. But there was a lot of seniors who lived in houses. And so because by me doing the program, a lot of seniors got left in their apartments because they did not have the connection to the community. So they end up getting left, and not getting taken care of. So that's where the problem came. So when your sister said about, knowing your neighbors and knowing who's in your surrounding community, it's like sometimes we just say, "Well, it's just me, myself, and my family," but
that's right.
It's like you never know when you might need the help. So by you extending your hand to other folks, you'll get the same thing back to you. And I just want to tell you, Veronica, thank you so much for this conversation, because there are some things that I don't have access and I have to get. And so, it's like I feel like this is some life-saving information that you brought to us today. And that's what I love about Rue. They always give you stuff that makes you just think, take you to a whole other level. And I really appreciate you, because I'm going to make some phone calls and get some of my documents in my hand so I can do what you said to. And I love you, and I appreciate everyone.
I love you more. Thank you, Mama T. Thank you. Thank you. So we are, yes, John.
Yes. Can you be ready with the numbers and your winners shortly? As a matter of fact, I'll bring up that slide. But what I want to say, Sister Veronica, is that one of the definite things we need in our bags is your book. Your book. Okay. Do you have a title for your book yet?
Yes, it's called African American, and I'm wavering with whether putting African American, but my goal is for us. Emergency a guide for preparedness. And we have to focus on us before we could take it out. And I really want to focus on us as a group. So it's a guide, and it talks about the foods that we should be preparing. If there's an emergency, what do we get rid of first? What do we eat? What types of things do we store? How much water we should have? I'll give you one clue. Each person in your household needs 5 gallons of water a day. So when we think about that, it's enormous. And so how do we look to our future for survival? And we need to survive.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have a winner yet?
I have 2 gifts. This is on my website. I sell and make some of these, but I don't make these. But this is a water bag, which is a perfect thing for walking. You can put your phone, your cell phone, which we all have, and your wallet here, and it's an insulated bottle holder, and it's a CrossFit. So this is one item, and it goes to one of the participants. I chose 2 numbers, and then this is a tote bag that opens up into a shoulder bag. And so 2 participants, one will get 1 item and the other person will get another item. And I chose 2 numbers. And John, you'll tell us who the winners are.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Kenyofu pick the winners. I know Kenyofu was working on numbers, but I want to show off my bag, my gift from you. I also have that same bag. I want to say I love this bag. When I'm riding my bike, I throw it over my shoulder. Again, the water, my cell phone, my wallet, my eyeglasses fit in this bag comfortably. And I'm so grateful to have been lucky enough to get this gift from you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure to give it to you. And I'm so happy that you use it and appreciate it. Thank you, John.
You're welcome. Yes. Kenyofu, let's hear who our winners are.
I'd love to. All right. Yes. So we have Theodore and Z.
All right. All right. Please email me your complete address and it'll go out today. And if anybody's interested, it's on my website.
We need to hear from them. Are you accepting Theodore and Z?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yay, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, very much so.
So they'll go out today. Do preference? You want the water bag or the bag? Who,
Water bag.
Water bag. And Z?
I can have a water bag as well.
Yes, you can. Mhm.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, it'll go out today. Just please email me your complete address.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And I thank all of WU for participating in this process with me, and I hope that it made some small difference and that you took notes. Thank you. Yes, John.
Here's your contact information, Veronica. If you just read through it with your
Okay.
voice so the committee members can hear, those who can't see it can hear if they're driving or such.
Yes. My contact information, my phone number is 718-810-3122. Instagram at Quilts by Veronica. I'm a quilter. You can see a quilt behind me. My email address is veronicakj55@gmail.com. And my website is quiltsbyveronica.com. And I look forward to hearing from you all. Love offerings. You can pay. Love offerings are necessary because this process does not happen by just happening. The people that are behind me, that are supporting me, are doing an exceptional job. It's so professional and well done. I just love coming on to WU. I love just coming on every morning and listening. And this experience is just one step further. And so please sow into WU. Sow leadership development at gmail.com. You can cash app Spirit of a Woman, https cash.me at hashtag Spirit of a Woman. And my code for today is hashtag 563VKJ. So please pay into WU. It's worth it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Veronica.
Thank you, John.
I like to invite and encourage the community to consider a monthly automated love offering. Our sessions are always valued. Today is day 560. 560. I go up. What number? Oh, 563. 563. Thank you. Today is 563. So we've had 563 days of value, of tremendous value to ourselves, to our friends and family, to our community. We go out and we share this with others. Commit. Choose to commit. You can do it for $25 a month, up to $100, $25, $50, $75. You can also go beyond that number if you like. But we are always bringing value, and to keep this community going, to keep things flowing smoothly, your donations are so appreciated.
Yes.
So thank you so very much. Let's go to our next slide. Veronica?
Yes, so join us tomorrow, Wednesday, April 13th, 2022, when we'll have COVID is Still COVIDing, facilitated by Dr. Alexia Gaffney. She's wonderful. And on Thursday, my sister, Cheryl Glenn, will be speaking on Are You Clear? On Thursday, April 14th, 2022. Thank you.
Thanks again. And thank you for bringing new members and expanding our community. So today, right now, I'd like to thank all the new members for joining us. If you're new, please mention it in our chats. If you're on Zoom, if you're on Facebook, just leave a little message letting us know that you have chosen to join this community, a community where we choose to learn, elevate, and ascend. Welcome, new members, all new members.
Thank you.
Our schedule, if you're not familiar, our schedule, we're here 5 days a week, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and Monday and Wednesdays from 7 to 7:30. We're always streaming live on Facebook, and that's so you do not miss a session. If you need a reminder, go to Facebook. We have so many sessions there that you can review. and let us know, let others know that you are down with Woo. You can do so by getting our swag. We have mugs, t-shirts, cups, bags, computer sleeves. If you like, you can choose from a variety of items here, and you can do so by going to bit.ly Woo Swag. Check out our swag store today. I want to thank you again, and we invite you to stay in touch, and there's several ways you can do so. You can register bit.ly/Wake Up Movement. You can go to Facebook and join our private group at bit.ly/Woo Community. You can join our public group, bit.ly/Woo Nation, or you can find us on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. We're on YouTube, bit.ly Woo on YouTube, or you can email us directly, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. At this time, family, I will stop my slide share and invite you to bless our sister, Veronica, with love. Welcome to your love shop.
You are my
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Veronica, for this great presentation.
You are my
This presentation was
sunshine.
well deserved.
Thank you so
And
much.
we already
You
got
Make
Woo
me
Nation
happy.
to support everybody.
us
When
from
I'm
Thank you.
the
feeling
land of
Thank you,
survival.
Veronica.
Thank
You
you.
never
God
never
know
look,
just how much
excellent
I
job.
love
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.
Are my
have a blessed day.
sunshine.
Thank you,
Everyone, blessings
Veronica.
to
Stay
everybody.
on my sunshine. Thank you,
Stay woke,
Veronica.
stay woke,
Thank you,
stay
Kenya
woke.
Joe
Thank
and
you.
John. I love
God
y'all.
bless
Y'all
you.
my sunshine. My only sunshine. Y'all make me happy when I'm feeling blue.
I love
You
my
never
Woo
know
family.
just how much I love y'all. So please don't take my sunshine away. I love y'all, family.
I say,
Thank
love
you,
you, love you, love
Teresa.
you.
Love y'all.
Thank you, Miss
Thank
Veronica.
you,
That was
Veronica.
so on
It's
point.
amazing.
So on point.
Love
Thank
y'all.
you. Thank you.
You rock.
Beautiful.
Peace and blessings.